Good Saturday morning, everybody, here on this March the 25th. I'm Chris Allen here on the Sam channel, which is Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, all sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace. Soon to announce some in store weather radio opportunities at the Ace Hardware stores across southern Kentucky. Be watching for that announcement here. I would say probably next week. We'll have everything tidied up and ready to go and ready to make a list of locations where we're going to be. So just hang in there, folks, and we'll get you fixed up. I know that yesterday we had some active weather. It wasn't necessarily severe for us, but the rains, man, and the wind too. Now, the rains are gone this morning, but the wind is still going to be a factor as we go through the day. Here's a look at the current radar situation in motion at 5:45 on this Saturday morning. You can see the series of low pressure systems to the north of us, and finally, we have the cold front, which is really more like almost a bowling green now, and continuing to push east along with these little waves of low pressure. They're all beginning to move east as well. So eventually, here you see some of the last of the rain out into parts of East Tennessee and the Blue Ridge Mountains and Appalachia. All that's continuing to move. Now, here's some little straws here. You see those, these little weak lines still coming through. That may keep us with a few clouds, and occasionally there could be maybe a spritz of rain or maybe just a drizzle for a few minutes and then it moves on. The bigger story today is going to be about the wind. The wind, we've got a wind advisory that's out, and that's going to keep us rather breezy as we go through the day. I want to show you the cloud cover that's across the area. And here we are with the thicker clouds you see out to the east of us. All of this brighter white, that's all thick clouds, and they're continuing to move off to the north and east. Wow, what an arrow that was. I did want to stop drawing. But anyway, so here comes our cold front. Let me put the clouds here into motion. Let me get rid of the draw pencil so I can show you how the clouds are. Look at this. Nice, starting to clear out. There's still some low-level clouds sitting over southern Kentucky, but we'll see sun today. There are some additional low clouds you see right here from about Carbondale, Illinois, Cape Girardeau, and then back up to St. Louis. Those are low-level clouds that may just kind of skirt through at some point later this morning into the afternoon. But overall, we're going to see clouds and sunshine and just a very breezy day. Winds are going to be, yeah, kind of up there. So I hate to say that because I know some of you have some outdoor events going on today. I'm going to the one at Hillview for Hillview Reach, single mother's oil change, and it's all outdoors. Well, most of it's outdoors, of course. We're changing oil and washing cars and all that, but it's going to be, some 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts today. So if you're doing anything outdoors, you need to just kind of check that. Let's take a look now at. I'm skipping around a little bit because of the heavy rain we picked up last night. So I'll get to the blender here in a minute. This is looking at how much rainfall everybody has received during the past 24 hours. I mean, pretty impressive stuff. You go back into western Kentucky, there's a lot of 3-inch plus, 3.25. That looks to be Marshall County, 2.25, 3.25, almost 3 and a third. Even Muhlenberg County picked up 2.66. Hopkins County, Madisonville, 2.75 inches of rain, 2.25, or 2 4/10, and no, yes, almost 2.5. Logan County and Russellville. We move further east. Here's Bowling Green, just a little over 2 inches. at the Corvette plant, and then at the Western Ag Center, almost an inch and 9/10. So you see, everybody got a good soaking rainfall pretty much anywhere you look across the Kentucky Mesonet network. Officially at the airport, we picked up 1.98. So, if you do an average between those two, that's pretty darn close, because the airport would be, right in here. So we say on average, overall, about 2 inches of rain, which is where we thought we would end up. And we said the higher amounts of rain were certainly going to be back here in Western Kentucky and along the Ohio River. And that was the case. Let's check, just out of curiosity, how the winds are behaving already this morning. Now, these are sustained winds from the south and southwest at 10, 15, 13, 16, 14. You get the idea. Let's throw in a gust, and we're already getting some gust over 20. So this is kind of the beginning of what I'm talking about today. All day there's a wind advisory, by the way. But here's the thing with the soaking wet ground, and the winds the way they've been lately, and the winds today, some loose, not well rooted trees could topple over, or we could have some down trees, maybe power outages. Not many, but it's a possibility. Okay, temperatures. 50s, upper 50s. We're right at 60 here in Bowling Green. Everybody is pretty much in the 50s and 60s, as you can see statewide. Some cooler 40s to the north. So you got wind, you got warmth, the rain is gone, and that's certainly good news. Because of anything going on outdoors today, you won't have to worry about any kind of shower activity. All right, now let's get to, oh, yes, I did want to show you this. Speaking of winds, let's use our windy.com map here, just to make sure you understand the prediction of the winds today. So here we are at the moment. Gusts, you saw that, at 20 to 30 miles per hour. This is saying a possible wind gust to 36. This is Bowling Green, Nashville. There's Louisville up the western eastern part of the state. I know this map is not very, it's got a lot of detail, but sometimes you kind of lose your geography with it. Here's the land between the lakes, kind of get the idea. So this is showing the model is outputting strong winds. Here we go. The timeline moving down here at the bottom of your screen, 7, 8 a.m. There's the gusts and temperatures as we continue to see mainly 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts, temperatures in the 60s. As we get to 10 a.m., here we go, 11, and then noontime. At noontime, more of a west-southwesterly wind, still in the gust to 30. Now, these are gusts. These are not actual steady or sustained winds. So here we go in the afternoon. Well, there's a 41. So kind of a last gasp. Noon to 1 o'clock, there could be just one final push of gusty winds. And then, as you see, the colors changing more to yellow and green back to the west. That means the winds are going to begin to relax as we get into this evening. Still a occasional 30-mile-per-hour gust at 5 o'clock. Then we get into the 20s, and then here comes some blue. That means the winds are really, look at the little wind particles. They're all just kind of moving very slowly. So as we get into, say, after dark, we are certainly going to have those winds relax. So if you're doing anything outside today that's, the wind could be a factor, I would just, use some caution, because it's going to be windy. Okay, now the 10-day blender. I know some of you that don't like all the details. You'd rather get this out of the way first. I just had to get that done first, because it's the most urgent. The 10-day blender, it's great. I mean, there's still that one chilly night that we're going to look at for Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. And it could get down into the mid 30s. Some to the north of Bowling Green may get low 30s, enough to get close to freezing, but conditional. It's conditional at this point. But look at those numbers: 60, 70, 60, 70, 60, 70s. That one chilly night, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, and then that's really the only chilly temperatures that we have. Everything is at or above average, and the average is 63 right now. By the way, yesterday's high was 69 in Bowling Green, and that was 6 degrees above average, 6 degrees above 63. And we had that record rainfall, 1.98 inches officially at the Bowling Green Warren County Regional Airport. That broke the one-day record for the day yesterday at 1.55, which was done back in 1912, just to give you some historical perspective. All right, now to the maps here. I know I'm kind of running a little bit long. Well, not as long as I thought. Okay. Well, I don't want to eat up all your Saturday time. But anyway, here's what's going and here's what's coming. So we've got the rains of yesterday. They're all pushing away here, which is fantastic. Everything is starting to move away, and we're going to be still in that very warm flow, as you see here, as we get the day started. Now, here's a trough, of course, dip in the jet stream here, where the coldest air is, and some of this cooler air tries to make its way. You see that little bend, that little trough, that U shape there in the Ohio Valley, Mississippi Valley. It's trying to push through after the rains. Yeah, there's going to be a temporary little cooler atmosphere but notice that 540 line, that colder part of the jet stream, is doesn't come all the way through Kentucky. So here we go into tomorrow. High pressure takes over. We're looking at that more zonal flow. Notice it. Yes, we're back to that. It doesn't want to leave. So we're going to continue to stay warm, as you saw in the 10-day blender. We're going to continue to stay dry for the rest of the weekend. The next chance of rain won't come until about Monday afternoon and evening. We've got a low here, 997 millibar, not a very strong low. And then you have the typical fetch of moisture coming up out of the Gulf of Mexico, coming along with the jet stream here, and that low is tracking right with it. So the cold air, it stays locked in the plains and Rockies, and we just continue to bask in the warm air and occasional showers with these impulses that ride along these fronts. And then, now this is getting into, let's see, that would be Monday night at about 1 a.m. So it'd be early Tuesday morning. Yeah, so this is when I was telling you, and you saw in the 10-day blender, that one night, Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, is when we could get maybe cold enough for northern Kentucky. See there? Right there. That's the cold air dip, temporary dip that we see on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. So you may have to cover your plants or bring them in Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Just giving you a heads up on that. Not everybody's going to get frost out of that, but you may. So, all right, as we get on into Wednesday, notice here a retreat of that cold air, and we're back into the spring of things. Look at that. Warmer flow. Oh, yeah. Looking good here. This is on into Wednesday, into Thursday. Now we start to see some shower activity, which will come back about Thursday afternoon with another low pressure system and that moisture coming up out of it's rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. It's the pattern that is set up here where we're going to get it's not going to just all of a sudden crash cold. It'll get a little temporary cool snap for one night, and then we're right back into the spring. And that looks to be what's going to continue for a while. Okay, final look here. This will be the surface maps, and this will take us through today and the next 7 days. Okay, just want to make sure I had the right thing pulled up here. All right, there's our departing front and the showers, thunderstorms. We had a couple of good rumbles of thunder last night to start this thing, but then it just kind of just went to all rain, a good steady rain, good sleeping rain. Yeah, last night. So here we go into today. A little bit of a straw there, a little bit of a trough. As I mentioned, that's just going to keep the clouds around. But then we get into tomorrow, everything looking good with high pressure. Then here comes our Gulf system, excuse me, tagging up with the system dropping out of Iowa and Illinois, converging here for a little bit of moisture, but nothing heavy or even stormy for us. And then it just kind of passes on through Monday afternoon and evening. Then we get into Tuesday, another high pressure takes over. Now, as we get into Thursday of next week, that's when I showed you that next kink coming. And that's the next piece of energy, a little more organized showers and thunderstorms by next Thursday into Friday. Pretty good setup, classic spring setup with warm air to the north, a triple point here with a dry line and the cold front. And that means anywhere in this triple point area, we could see severe weather. Notice the winds are going to be gusty. So it's almost like every Friday now, right? Right? I've just noticed that. It's almost like every Friday now we get stormy weather, heavy rain, gusty winds. It just seems to be that way. I can hear your head shaking out there, or you're going, yep, yep. So I don't know why it's it's just the way the pattern is working out. The timing of these patterns, about every Friday we get a strong system. Oh, I forgot to say, I'm leaving weather stick. Weather stick today is staying yellow in the caution category because of the potential impact of the wind. Severe weather is gone, but wind advisory is up, and that means gust 30, 35, 40, maybe even higher, possible, as I showed you on the wind map. So I'm leaving it yellow, caution today because of that. All right, that'll do it. God bless you guys. Be sure and keep your radio on this weekend to Sam 100.7 for whatever you're doing. Just kind of leave it on in the background. You don't have to, it's not a lot of talk, it's a lot of music. That's what I love. So, you guys have a great day. Watch out for the wind. God bless you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you back here tomorrow morning.